Now available on Lulu. John Haynes at Death's Door. The man who rules the world takes on the Greek god of death in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes comic book. Get your copy of the first John Haynes comic at lulu.com today. Hi everyone, it's Shawn here with a comic review video. And as I'm trying to figure out what my next comic project will be after publishing John Haynes at Death's Door, I'm trying to figure out which comic I want to produce next. Another John Haynes book, an ISIS book, or an Eastine book. That's what I'm trying to figure out before I go out here and start putting fingers to the keyboard to write the script for the next comic. Now, I have an ISIS All That Glitter script that's about 51 pages, but I just don't have the funds to go out here and put together that kind of money for that kind of project. So I'm still trying to figure out whether I want to take another ISIS story or another John Haynes story and try to adapt that into a comic, or do what I did when I was working on At Death's Door, when I was working on the At Death's Door book and the At Death's Door comic at the same time. So everything that's related to my next comic project is up in the air, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next. Now, as I'm doing that, I'm out here supporting a lot of great independent comics like Konkret Comics Acolyte. And Konkret Comics Acolyte is better than, I say, the Man of Steel Superman, because this Superman goes out here and handles his business like a man. And as he's out here looking to handle some business in this 5th issue, we get to see more of the intergalactic universe that Acolyte is a part of, and we learn more about that whole universe of aliens in this story. So this issue really reminded me a lot of the old school Superman books when he was in space with aliens like Mongol and Darkseid. And this issue really captured that whole spirit of many of those classic 90s Roger Stern and Jackson Guice Action Comics books, or those Tom Grummett Adventures of Superman books. That's the heart and soul I felt from Acolyte as related to the action. And I love this cover, which really does a great job of showing the power of Acolyte while telling the story of the Therans and really showing us how powerful Acolyte is in the face of battle. Again, very compelling cover with a very strong story, and a strong cover gives me a good anticipation of what's going to be inside this book. So I really liked seeing this cover right here, and again, really got me excited for this issue and what was coming up as related to this issue. Now, as we go into Acolyte number 5, he's looking to go out here and try to get some answers as related to the attack on Earth from the Children of Chaos, and looking to go into space, trying to find out where these Children of Chaos came from. And he's flying through the galaxy at high speed, no matter how many light years he has to go. And this opening sequence, again, is a strong visual. I mean, we get a nice opening of Acolyte in the distance, getting closer and closer, lots of planets behind him, and this just shows the incredible power that Acolyte has. I mean, he's out here looking to get that payback from those Children of Chaos for invading his planet, and it looks like he's got incredible power. And that incredible power, he's flying at that high speed, and as he's flying, he gets this sense that things are not really right about where things are in space. And that's where he runs into the getting attacked by these aliens. And as he's getting attacked, we start to see that these ships from these Therans, and again, these Therans, they're no match for Acolyte. I mean, this page right here, it shows the incredible power of Acolyte. I mean, he's moving at such incredible speed, and the art here, again, is absolutely fantastic at capturing the incredible power of Acolyte. I mean, I wish they would put these kind of panels in a Superman comic, because this is just, again, the incredible, shows just how powerful he is as related to his abilities. And again, great display of his power in this one panel. And we move into that panel, and he runs into these aliens known as the Therans. And again, great sequencing here as related to these pages. I mean, we go from him at this high speed to him taking the hits and firing that blast, and then we get in on these shots again. Just very, very strong visuals as related to this comic. I mean, this shows how good the writing from Alonzo Starr is. I mean, he does a great job of sequencing right here. I mean, I could easily, again, see these sequences in either an animated series or a movie, but for a comic, it really shows you the vastness of space and the incredible power that Acolyte has. I mean, this is solid storytelling from a comic perspective because, again, comics are a visual medium, and this visual medium, we are just seeing the incredible power of this character in this few pages. I mean, this is just again what comic storytelling is all about. It's big, it's bold, it's dynamic. You feel the energy coming off the page, and this is what you want in good comic storytelling. I mean, everything here is just rock solid as related to the setup for Acolyte and the threat that he runs into from these Therans. And as he runs into these Therans, he then is told that they are the last of their people. And that really reminded me a lot of what I was setting up with Esteem as related to her being the last survivor of Keisha, the nation that came before Egypt. So with the Therans, they are the last of their people. And as the last of their people, they're just traveling. They say that they're traveling through space. And I say that they're traveling through space because there's a twist as related to the story. And I don't want to spoil that twist, nor do I want to spoil any more of this comic because Lonzo Starr and Bruno Lima do an absolutely, and Mason Salome do a fantastic job here as related to Acolyte's great storytelling and great art. And I don't want to spoil that storytelling for you. I want you to go over to KonkretComics.com and get your own comic of one of the best comics in the business right now. I mean, when it comes to independent comics, Acolyte is up there with some of the best comics I've read. And I'd have to say that the storytelling here is on a level that I haven't seen since the late 80s and the 90s when John Byrne and other comic creators like Roger Stern and Jackson Guice were out here taking Superman to another level. Because in the late 80s and the 90s, Superman books were just absolutely incredible back then. I mean, just incredibly good, great storytelling. You had a great use of the Rogues Gallery. You had a great use of the characters. And that's what we have here with Acolyte. And the only thing I want to see more in Acolyte is more of him having some interactions with his supporting cast. And that's something that I would like to see as related to his personal life as a musician. I'd like to see him getting out here and hanging out with his friends and stuff like Clark used to do. I believe that would give his character a little bit more humanity and depth. But the whole thing is this space issue, just again, is absolutely well done. We get that vastness of space. We get that richness of diversity as related to alien cultures. We learn more about the overall Konkret universe as related to Acolyte's and the alien cultures all around it, and see that there's all sorts of different alien cultures. So this book is a hit out of the park, and it just is, again, one of the best books I've read so far this year in 2023 as related to independent comics. Just absolutely well done comic by Lonzo Starr and Bruno Lima. Again, this team is rock solid, and the writing here is the foundation for everything. And I have to say, the writing here is just absolutely some of the strongest I've seen. I mean, when I look at these panels again and the sequencing of these panels, again, look at this panel, right? This sequence of panels right here. You just feel the epicness of space in this panel, and you feel the vastness because you see he's just going through, again, solar systems at this level, and again, just the incredible power that you're seeing presented to you. And again, that's really solid writing as related to setting up your panels. And if you're if you're into comic book writing, you're going to learn a lot if you go out here and pick up Acolyte, because again, look at this 1, 2, and 3 pages, and we're into the conflict. and we're learning more about that. And again, introducing that main character, introducing what they're running into as related to the challenge, and giving us a reason to care in less than 4 pages. Again, that's the foundation of a really solid comic. Again, getting your reader into the story in less than 4 pages, well-crafted sequences here, and again, the visuals are powerful and epic. I mean, this feels like something major is happening, and again, that's what a superhero comic is supposed to have featured in its pages. So when I look at this first couple of pages of Acolyte and I read through this issue, again, absolutely incredible experience. And this is one of Konkret Comics' best comics, and it's one of those comics, again, I can just highly recommend you pick up. If you're an aspiring comic writer or you're a Black superhero comics fan, this book has something for everyone, and this book will be a satisfying read for anybody who picks it up. So Acolyte number 5 continues one of the best comic series to come out of independent comics in the 21st century, and I highly recommend you pick up this 5th issue and the back issues of Acolyte on KonkretComics.com. Now, if you want to pick up my first full comic, John Haynes at Death's Door, you can find John Haynes at Death's Door on Lulu.com, and you can get your own paper copy by clicking the link in the description box that will take you there, and you can get your first full John Haynes comic and see what the man who rules the world's adventures are like. And if you want to pick up my other comic, Esteem No Good Deed, you can find that comic that I did with Bill Walker on Amazon.com on Kindle for 99 cents. Or if you want to help me be able to make more comics, you can donate $5 to the Patreon, and that will allow me to be able to try to raise funds to make the next SJS Direct comic. And if you also want to help me continue making SJS Direct comics, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App, and all those funds will be used to go out here and make another comic similar to John Haynes at Death's Door. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available on Kindle, Esteem No Good Deed. The Devil's Diva scares some stick-up kids straight in this action-packed Esteem series comic. Get Esteem No Good Deed on Kindle for 99 cents today.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s in this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Get your copy of John Haynes 1987 in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.